up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino, and as y'all can see by the title, man, this topic was inspired by something that by a video I saw. And the video um, had a pretty reputable person speaking about a pretty popular and controversial topic, and I can't really go deep into it, but that's the principle of what I'm gonna get into, kind of still in place. So just bear with me for a second. And that is, we live in a world where we are so instantly influenced by the so-called experts. Experts in science, experts in medicine, experts in politics, government, religion, all these different categories. And when you're naive, or when you're a person who does not feel it necessary to go and check on everything and research things for yourself, then you can easily be misled by the so-called experts who will tell you something, not even considering in your mind that maybe they got it wrong. Let me check to see if they got it wrong. Maybe they're intentionally deceiving people and there's a bigger agenda or interest involved that I'm not considering, because I'm just a regular human being who's just trying to find out what's going on. But it's always interesting, well, not interesting, but it's always, to me, it's a good thing when you see people who are supposed to be reputable and high up there, they don't know what they're talking about. And because they pretty much have been encompassed by, in a lot of cases, their own arrogance and their own study and that one way that they stand on. They'll stand on this one way, and this is it, and this is it, and what I have researched and believe goes. And then they don't understand. Look, it's there are multiple people in the same field who don't disagree. I mean, who don't agree. They may not agree. So if you place a problem in front of 20 doctors, you have a medical issue that's placed in front of 20 doctors. I'm pretty confident in believing that all 20 of those doctors are not going to agree on what is the absolute method to fix that situation, to fix that problem. The same can be said for scientists. The same can be said for religious figures and political figures. And how do I know this is true? Because we see it every day. We've been seeing. It doesn't matter what you're talking about. There are going to be people from all different sides of the equation that are going to speak what they believe to be their truth. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's the truth. So we have to be diligent in terms of doing our own research and study, and going by that to determine what we feel is best for us. If you agree with the person, then hey, you just agree with the person. It is what it is. Nobody can, feel no kind of way. You agree with you. But if you're not sure, then you got to check it out for yourself. And don't make the mistake of thinking that, well, that's Dr. such and such and such and such. So if he said it, oh, I got to run with it. Or that's the world-renowned scientist such and such. So if he says it, it got to be true. That's Reverend such and such. If he says it, it got to be true. Now, we have been victimized by that way of thinking for too long, for centuries, dare I say. And the quicker that we fall out of that, the closer we can get to actually being free and actually being really, really woke, as many of us claim to be. Now, if you disagree with something, you disagree with it. I mean, I'm not finna go back and forth with you if you disagree with something that this person says or that I say, or if I disagree with what you say. I mean, that's just the way of the world. But we have to get out of this blind follower mindset. I ain't knocking you for following somebody. I'm not. I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those people who just have this adamant um, resistance against following somebody. Because my thought is, if the person you following is leading you in the right direction, follow them. If they're leading you in a good direction, follow them, dummy. Don't get caught up in, I don't follow nobody. I hear that. I've been hearing it all my life. But find out first if they're worthy of you following them, or being guided by them. If you see that they're not, then nah, then you're doing right. Leave it alone. But um, it's amazing how reputable people, again, can actually be pretty dumb. They can actually be, it's like, man, wow, this guy's pretty dumb. You know, and it's disappointing, especially if it's somebody that you did kind of look at. Because, and another thing that we got to understand is, just because you are um, you cold blooded in this particular lane, that doesn't mean that you cold blooded in this lane, that you just awesome in that lane or that lane. You know, that's where the saying "come stay in your lane" comes from. You know this, but that doesn't mean you know everything. And we make the mistake sometimes of just lumping our knowledge, saying that our knowledge, what we do know, it encompasses everything. So because I'm a scientist, you can't tell me nothing about baseball. And that's just not the case. So be careful, just blind. See, that's how we got in the situation we're in now in a lot of cases, because um, media is one of the main culprits of that as well. How do you know that's true? It was on TV, fool. And in this day and age, social media, how do you know that was true? I saw it on the internet. Yeah, but did you try to get a counter? Did you look for something to debunk that? Did you try to find a different opinion or a different analysis on it? Or you just took the first one you saw and we ran with it? We got to grow out of that, because you never know when your name may come up and people take something on somebody's word that's totally not true. And with the stakes being as high as they are in terms of itself, life itself is on the line when you talk about medications and different things that are being imposed on us, and different information that's being distributed and heavily distributed to say, hey, this is what it is. And that's all you getting is that heavy side of it. But the truth is way over here in the corner, just tucked in the cut, because it ain't getting no hyper exposure. Be careful with that, man. Just because you got a name don't mean that you know the game. All right, it's your big brother K-Rino. I'll catch y'all later on, man. Peace.